Max Blasky back here with you on KNDY FM at 95.5 as the Peskett athletic program got us bumping to a little M&M here as we get ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader here this evening. Again, if you're just joining us for the Hanover game, the Axtell game, this is a good one between the Hanover Wildcats and the Logan Palco boys. It was Hanover coming away with a 5-point victory to punch their first ticket to state in 3 years, and their third now in 5 under head coach Corey Jensen and his squad. Hanover was led by Braylon Mine with 22 points due to his free throws for the Wildcats. He goes 16 for 28 in the second half to knock off previously undefeated and second-ranked Logan Palco and one of the top scorers in the state of Kansas, Red Cats. We've got another big scorer here tonight in in game number 2 of our boys contest as Beloit St. John's Tipton comes into this game led by senior Edward Hornick. Got to make sure my O and my E look correct on the score sheet here for myself. Edward Hornick, the 6-foot junior, leads this St. John's Tipton team in scoring. He also leads them in just about every other statistical category that the Blue Jays have. Leads them in scoring, at rebounds at 5.5 per game, assists at 2.4 per game, steals at 3.2, and tied with blocks at a half a block per game. Hornick, 22.3 points per game for the junior. He was a top 20 Sports in Kansas player to watch when this season started. He's the 21st leading scorer in the state of Kansas. Averaged 15 points per game last year. And this is the second time that Axtell will meet up with the Blue Jays. These two teams met up in first round of state action last year. It was Axtell running away with it 54-32, a season that saw the Eagles finish third at state. Of course, this year they're looking for not only a championship game appearance, but they're looking for a championship game win as they finished fourth 2 years ago and third last season. In last year's contest, I don't have Axtell stats with me right away, but I did find St. John's Tipton. Edward Hornick had 11 points in that game. The junior Nicholas Newald, who doesn't start this season, had 4. And then second closest, the other starter, Gabriel Roderick, a 6'1 junior. He had 5 points. Axtell, of course, led by defense the last couple of years, only allowing 44 points per contest on the season, held the Blue Jays to just 26% shooting in that contest and only allowed, again, the Blue Jays 1 for 4 from the free throw line, as that was a first-round matchup last year. So these two teams fairly familiar. There are 4 seniors gone off of last year's squad for the Blue Jays, but they only combined for 10 points of the 32 for St. John's Tipton last season in that state matchup. Of course, as for the Axtell Eagles, a little bit more familiar team we're used to seeing in our broadcast area. Defense is the key under 10th-year head coach Jason Hine in the third straight year that Axtell has only allowed 44 points per game. And it all starts, I don't want to say it starts down low, but a big portion of it is the big man down low, the 6'4 sophomore Logan Salmon, who I've said is probably one of the most improved players in the Twin Valley League this season. Sandman is a top 20 player in the state in Kansas in blocks, as well as top 60 in rebounds per game. On the season, he is averaging, 8.3 rebounds per game to go along with 1.3 blocks per contest. Defense, again, is the key for the Eagles as they have 5 players that average over a steal per game, led by Brandon Schmelsley, who also deflects almost 2 passes per game, too, as well, while pitching in 6 rebounds and double-digit scoring. It's the balanced attack for the Eagles this season, as it has kind of been last year, too, as well. 64 points per game. Again, a 6-point increase off of last year. Axtell has 4 players that average double digits, led by Colin Shaughnessy, who comes off the bench for head coach Jason Tynan's squad at 14 points per game. Eli Brockschman averaging 13, Logan Sandman at 12.5, Brandon Schmelsley at just over 11. Then it draws off with Wyatt Detweiler at 5.5. But Detweiler, one of the better point guards in the Twin Valley League, between him and Landon Schmitz out there. Axtell has the ball handlers, the shooting, and the athleticism to stay with just about every team in the state. As again, they've been there the last 2 years, and they're looking for a state championship game this season too as well. Axtell on the season is shooting it at a clip of 43% from the floor. They shoot 30% from behind the arc and a free throw line of just over 50. But where Axtell really makes their money, and we've seen it time and time again this season. We saw it in the win versus Lynn the other night, where they led at the end of the first quarter, 17-10. Axtell just jumps out on teams in the opening stanza. They are outscoring teams 17-9 in the first quarter. We saw it in the PBL championship game versus Hanover about a month or so ago now. And that's where Axtell really gets teams down, and Axtell gets ahead and looks to run away with contests and just play good defense the rest of the way. But again, they're going to be challenged here tonight by a solid St. John's Tipton team that comes in 14-6 out of the Northern Plains League. They came on off a big win versus Pike Valley in second-round action, 84-46 in that game. Edward Hornick led the way with 28 points, while Ryder Allen and before-mentioned Gabriel Rodick pitched in double digits as well. Of course, Axtell coming off a second-round win versus TBL foe Lynn. That was a 65-44 victory for the Eagles. They led 27-18 at half and cruised to that victory. They were led by Colin Shaughnessy, who is probably, again, one of the best shooters in the league and comes off the bench for head coach Jason Tynan's squad. He hit 5 threes in that contest for a game-high 24 points against the Lynn Bulldogs in first-round action. And again, Axtell has been on a roll since losing their first and only game of the season back on December 30th versus Auburn of Nebraska, 64-30. Since then, the Eagles have been on an 18-game winning streak, and of course, that's not to mention the 4 years straight of state football champions in Class 1A Division II. We're going to take our second time out at pregame. When we come back, we'll take a little bit more in-depth look at how scores are going around the state, as it's been a dominant effort from the Twin Valley League here on this championship Saturday. In Axtell Eagles and St. John's Tipton Blue Jays coming up next on KNDY FM at 95.5. Online as well at kndyradio.com, and of course in our free mobile app. If you haven't downloaded that already, take us with you wherever you go. I was talking to a few Lynn people that were going to go on vacation after the girls got a win last night. I said, hey, take that app. You're going to be down in Mexico. I bet you can still pick us up down there. And they said, we'll be sure and do that. So listeners not only nationwide, but worldwide here at kndyradio.com streaming service in the free mobile app. We're going to take, again, our second time out of pregame. When we come back, take a look around the state and get you ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader here on KNDY.
Always happy with your 5-star customer service.
Your staff was super friendly and easy to work with.
Quick, helpful, responsive. Thank you. I'm so happy to be a Blue Valley customer.
Blue Valley is awesome.
Blue Valley employees are always helpful, kind, and efficient.
At Blue Valley Technologies, we appreciate all our customers. Thank you for entrusting us to keep you connected.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it into the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, sandblasting. No job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
If your car says, I need fixed, call on Little Joe's Service in Axtell to fix it right. From routine maintenance to repairs of all types, Joe can serve your needs. Fast, friendly, and down-to-earth service with satisfied customers from all over the area. Turn to Little Joe's 66th Service in Axtell for any automotive repair needs. Proud supporters of the Axtell community, it's Little Joe's Service.
Max Blasky back with you here on KNDY FM at 95.5 on this championship Saturday. We've already seen quite a few teams punch their ticket to a state championship action. Of course, last night it was the Hanover girls punching their third straight, maybe fourth straight. I can't remember. They've won back-to-back state titles anyway under head coach Chris Beichman and continue look to be one of the most dominant teams in Class 1A Division 2. Had a little conversation with a friend last night. Yes, I was wrong. I thought Little River dropped down to Class 2 this season. No, they're still undefeated in Class 1A Division 1. That'll be a great matchup somewhere in state of Centralia and Little River meet up down at Dodge City. But it's top-seeded Lebo, who also makes their way to a state as an undefeated, or a two-loss Lebo team in Class 1A Division 2, possibly match up with the Hanover girls next week out at Colby. Of course, Lynn girls punched their ticket last night for the first state trip since the 2008 season in almost a decade and a half. The Lynn girls are back out at state. We'll have coverage of both of those schools at Colby action starting next week with girls action on Wednesday, boys to follow on Thursday. As KNDY is your local leader in area sports coverage, not only in the postseason, but all season long. Earlier tonight, the Hanover boys punched their ticket with a 5-point win over undefeated Logan Palco. Elsewhere on the bracket, the Valley Heights girls punched their their sixth trip to state in 8 years under head coach Jordan Brockshman in the Class 2A Valley Heights sub-state bracket. That was a 52-36 win for the Mustangs, a game that Valley Heights trailed 22-20 at halftime as they hold Kansas City Christian to just 16 points in the second half as the Valley Heights girls punch their ticket down to state action at Bramlage Coliseum next week. Elsewhere, it is the Clifton Clyde Eagles that defeated Burlingame in their sub-state championship game, a 4-point squeaker, 54-50, as the Eagles came from behind to win that one. The second game over in that bracket, a TBL matchup between Frankfort and Blue Valley. Frankfort looking for their first trip to state in quite a few years. Meanwhile, Blue Valley, I think, is looking for their first ever in-school history. But again, don't quote me on that one. So far here this week, Centralia girls also beat Clifton Clyde girls. So let me give a quick count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TVL teams already making it to state through 3 classifications through this weekend. Again, showing to be one of the most dominant small school programs in the state of Kansas. We're going to go ahead and take a look at starting lines. First for boys, St. John's Tipton. They come into this contest the 3 seed. They are 14-6. They are led out front by Grant Goodacre, a 5'7" junior. Then all around, Edward Hornick, the 6-foot junior, leading scorer at 22 points per game. He's going to be a name we're going to mention a lot. Ryder Allen, a 6-foot senior at small forward. Gabriel Rodick, a 6'1" junier. And Dominic Eilert, a 6'1" sophomore down low for the Blue Jays. Again, Goodacre, Hornick, Allen, Roderick, and Eilert. As for the Axtell boys, it's going to be a very familiar starting lineup as we've seen all season. Out front, the 2 point guards, Landon Schmitz, the 5'11 junior, and Wyatt Detweiler, the 5'10 sophomore. All get it started for head coach Jason Tynan and his squad. In the middle, it's Eli Brocksterman, the sharpshooting 6-foot-tall senior, along with down low, Brandon Schnelsley, the 6'2" senior and KU football commit, to go along with one of the most improved players in the Twin Valley League, the 6'4" sophomore, Logan Sandman, who comes in a top 20 player in the state of Kansas in blocks and top 60 in rebounds this season. And then, of course, we're going to see top leading scorer for the Axtell Eagles, Colin Shaughnessy, off the bench at 14 points per game. Axtell, being the top seed, will be in their home whites, blue. Axtell across the chest, numbers front and black and back in blue as well. The St. John's Tipton Blue Jays will be in their home blue or road blues with black Blue Jays across the chest, black numbers on the front and back, both in white trim with kind of a white zebra pattern down the side. Again, a solid Axtell crowd made their way from northeast Kansas. They're looking for their third trip to state under head coach, ninth-year head coach Jason Tynan, a team that won TVL regular season for the first time in school history this year. First tip is the one by Schmelsley, and we're off and going here tonight. Axtell will work it right to left as we see it. Tipton's Blue Jays will come out in a man-to-man defense. Salmon right down the lane. First bucket is good by Logan Sandman. And again, Axtell, the height advantage, the size advantage, the weight advantage, every physical advantage I think they have over to St. John's Tipton here tonight, but they're going to have to play a clean game against, again, a solid Blue Jay squad to come in averaging north of 60 points per game, but they do allow 52 points per game, so susceptible to some runs here on the season. And coming off a 64-46 smattering of Pike Valley in first-round action. First shot for the Blue Jays. It's going to be off the rim to the right. Number 31. Get the start here this evening. I wrote it down wrong. Tyson Gates is the first one that missed that one. Gates stepping in here as a 5'11 senior. They're going to have a groan from the Axtell crowd as inside Logan Sandman picks up a personal foul. Again, starting lineup actually Tyson, Gates, Gabriel, Roderick, Ryder, Allen, Edward, Hornick, and Grant Goodacre, on that one. Hornick fires up a left corner three. Ball goes bouncing around offensively, and it'll go back over to the Eagles. Again, Max Blasky with you here on this second broadcast. Here's Salmon right down the lane again, and a second assist for Brandon Schmelsley. I don't keep track of that throughout the contest as it's kind of hard to do throughout an entire game, but Schmelsley on the season, a very good passer of the ball, and quickly St. John's Tipton takes the timeout under head coach Lance Bergman. His first of this contest. Of course, his wife coaches the girls that fell to Hanover last night. So I was mentioning that comment about the assist. This is an unselfish Axtell team. Brandon Schmelsley does lead this squad at 4.5 assists per game. Eli Brocksterman just over 3, Wyatt Detweiler at 3, and 2 apiece for Landon Schmitz and Logan Sandman. Meanwhile, Colin Shaughnessy off the bench, just under 2 assists a game. So, again, I said it, I think, in the Lynn broadcast the other day. Axtell was a good team last year, but with the development of Sandman down low, bringing that post presence and the shooting and confidence of a senior squad, this is just a deadly Axtell team. Here's a turnover force as the Tiptons dribble right into a deadly corner at the other end. Landon Smith misses that one, and an offensive foul will be called on Wyatt Detweiler as he high jumps over the Blue Jay defender down underneath the basket. But just like we expected, Axtell out here early and often hounding this Blue Jays team defensively. Eagles will look to go about 8 deep in this contest as Shaughnessy, Liebarger, and Dalton Heinen will come off the bench for head coach Jason Tynan. And we're seeing it here early on. Full court man-to-man pressure. 2 guards out there, Detweiler and Schmitz, 2 of the best defensive guards in the Twin Valley League this season. Here's a steal by Schmelsley. 3-on-2. Gives it to Detweiler at the rim. It's 6-0 early on. Axtell Eagles, and is this the way it's going to go? We might see ourselves a beatdown here in this championship game. Blue Jays break the press right into the hands of Schmelsley. He deflects it again. Didn't mention it in the opening. He averages 2 steals but 4 deflections. And here's a block by Logan Sandman at the front of the rim, the 6-foot sophomore, the rim protector that the Eagles rely on all season long. Again, tops in the state of Kansas in blocks per contest. Schmelsley at the other end, no, but free throws coming now for Brandon. Personal foul will go on the Blue Jays. That will be the first on Grant Goodacre. Colin Shaughnessy will quickly come off the bench. Brandon Schmelsley at the line. Calmly knocks down the first free throw. And just like that, Colin Shaughnessy will come into the contest. Again, leading scorer on the season. Could definitely be a starter in this game, but he allows some availability for head coach Jason Tynan to work this offensive board. Rebound is missed, but it's chased down by Landon Schmitz. It's thrown behind his back. The Blue Jays come out of it with Hornick. Hornick off and running, left wing, top side now. Yates will set it up. Tyson Gates nicks the line, the G around on that one. 7-0 early on. Axtell in the lead of this one. Again, second time these two teams have met in 2 years. Two Eagles run into each other. Hornick wide open three. Bangs that one for Edward Hornick. 1 for 2 from the stripe. 1 for 3 now for the Blue Jays as a team. Landon Schmitz, right wing with it. Gets it off to Schmelsley. Detweiler top side, head fakes on a 3. We're not going to see a lot of threes from either point guard as Schmitz gets inside the line. Hand taps this one out of bounds, and it'll stay with Axtell. And again, defense here for the Eagles. Granted, Schmelsley leading the way with 2.5 steals a game, but Shaughnessy, Brockstrom, Detweiler, and Schmitz all over 1 steal a game as well. Also get a lot of hands on balls in terms of deflections, too, as well. Little elevator screen set up for Landon Schmitz. He gets it off right corner, Eli Brockstrom. Eagles very deliberate in their offense. Look at inside there. Schmelsley won't finish the three-point play, but will be fouled. And for the second straight trip now, Brandon Schmelsley gets right to the front of the line and draws a foul. This will go on Gabriel Roderick, the 6'1 junior. In Roderick and Eilert, the tallest for the Blue Jays at 6'1. Schmelsley drops down the free throw. Schmelsley on 6'2", Brockstrom 6 foot, Shaughnessy off the bench at 6 foot, and Sandman down low at 6'4". The KU commit puts up his second one, rattles that one home. He's 3 for 4 from the line is Brandon. Early 9-3 lead here early on for Axtell. Finish that comment again. These two teams met in first-round action last year. It was Axtell running away with it 54-32. So you don't see it very often in these games. The teams are separated by quite a few miles, but they're matching up here again. This will be pressured by Colin Shaughnessy as he takes a whack to the floor. Pops up real quick, though, as possession will stay with the Blue Jays. Again, a reminder that all of our KNDY broadcasts are available in a couple days at KNDYradio.com underneath the Sports Podcast tab, under the KNDY Rewind tab. Whether you want to listen to Axtell State games last season or games from this year, you certainly can. An air ball from Gabriel Roderick. Good defense over on the far side by Eli Brockstrom. Savvy player is Brockstrom. Really likes to throw up the threes, too, here this season, leading this team in three-point attempts at 8.5 per game. Here's one for Brockstrom. Brings it down as he throws up the 3 fingers. Eli Brockstrom, let's see if he can get going here offensively. Steal, oh no, about had it did Eli. Out of position now is Axtell. Blue Jays will travel with it and won't get a point out of it. Already 3 turnovers forced by Axtell. Right down substitution here is Caden Rabb will check into the contest. Grab the 5'9 junior. First one called off the bench for head coach Lance Bergman. 12-3 early first quarter score. 3:30 left to play in this contest. Winner has the right to go on to Colby. Detweiler, 3 off the rim, no good. He's good for about one of those per game. And what one of those makes, he'll definitely let it fly here in this contest. A much more confident player this year as a sophomore compared to last year. Stepped into the starting point guard role last year as a freshman. Really flourished, though, this year. Hornerick is hounded by Brandon Schmelsley. That's going to be a heck of a matchup to watch as he cannot get any breathing room against Brandon. Inside the lane, shot missed again with the shadows of Brandon right on his left hip. Quickly, here comes Axtell. Shaughnessy fakes on a 3. We're going to work some offense, though, with the Eagles, leading by 9. Final 2:30 of this first quarter. Hanover boys already punched their ticket out to Colby. Axtell looking to make it 2 for 2 for the TVL. A deep 3 heat check by Eli. Misses. Offensive board, though, for Brandon. Brandon looking for some help. Finds Logan at the front of the rim, and Logan turns around and puts it in for 2. It's a quick timeout taken by St. John's Tipton. We'll take it with them. An 11-point advantage for Axtell as they lead 14-3 here in the first quarter of game number 2 from Prescott High School.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a muddy rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
Max Blasky back with you here from Prescott High School in our Trep State Championship action. Not very good at keeping track of scores from elsewhere around the state, but just looking at how the end of the season rankings ended for the Kansas High School Basketball Coaches Association. Top-seeded Cunningham was undefeated at the end of the year. We'll see if they make a trip out to state. Hanover knocked off the second team, Logan Palco. Axtell played here. Elia Christian, a very good team. Dighton, a very good team, too, as well. But right now, I would say the way that Hanover played against Logan Palco, the top 2 teams in the state of Kansas might be coming from the Twin Valley League. And, of course, Candy Y will have live broadcast coverage from the state tournament in Colby coming up next week with girls action on Wednesday and boys action on Thursday. Here's going to be an errant pass from the Blue Jays, their 4th turnover already here in this quarter number 1. They have just as many turnovers as they have shots here so far in this game. 14-3 is the score. Shaughnessy, right wing 3, no off the rim, no good. We'll get him going here as this game goes along, though. Physicality of Axtell, we mentioned it in the opening. They jump out of the opponents, averaging a margin of victory, or margin of, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess lead at the end of the first quarter. 17-9, and right now they're at 14-3 with 2 minutes left to go in this first quarter. A second block for Logan Sandman, who again is top 30 in the state of Kansas in that statistic, actually top 20 at just over a block and a half per game this season. Good switch here from the Axtell defense as Hornick goes right into the chest of Colin Shaughnessy. He takes a pop to the mouth. We already saw blood early on in our Hanover game. And it looks like Shaughnessy might have bit that lip just a little bit. Shaughnessy picks up his first personal foul. Coming off the bench for head coach Jason Tynan and his squad. Edward Hornick at the line knocks down the first one. Edward so far on the season, again, a top scorer in the state of Kansas, officially the 21st leading scorer in the state at 22 points per game, shoots free throws at an 88% clip, and he goes perfect from the line there on that one, 2-for-2. Sandman down low, through the contact, and good for Logan Sandman. Already a quick 8 points for the big 6'4" sophomore down low, as the Blue Jays don't have the size to fight with them down low. Let's see if they have the speed to get past this Axtell defense. Axtell gets back nicely, though. Straight man-to-man again here in this one. Well, Schmitz will pick up Hornick. Hornick gets a shot inside. This is on the first one, but now 2 more free throws coming for the junior. And that'll be a second already on Logan Sandman. So he's going to have to go to the bench with 8 points and 2 blocks. Detweiler will check back in here at the break. Detweiler will check in. Sandman will go out. Now kind of back to the starting lineup here. Detweiler, Schmitz, Brockstrom, Schmelsley, and Shaughnessy. Second one is down for Hornick. He goes 2 for 2 from the strike. Now perfect in this quarter, 4 for 4. Inside lob pass saved by Schmelsley. It's going to be a turnover as that lob pass top side from Detweiler was just a little bit high. First turnover for Axtell. The Eagles, a team on the season that average about a dozen turnovers per contest. But again, they get out in the passing lanes and force just as many turnovers. They answer that call here, force the turnover, the 5th for the Blue Jays. Rotation ends up in a Brockstrom and 3. That's off. Landon Schmitz, though, right place, right time. As that offensive board drops right into the lap of Landon Schmitz, he just has to go straight up with it for the bucket. 11-point lead for Axtell. Final 37 seconds left. Good defensive possession there by Landon Schmitz, who got back into play. He was all the way outside the three-point line and came screaming in from the top of the key to poke away a pass and stop a fast break attempt for the Blue Jays. Box set now here for St. John's. Tipton will look to get down the middle of the lane. Hornick, left block, will have to swing it around. Top side, 3-ball taken and missed from Gabriel Rodick. His second attempt at the other. And Shaughnessy stepped through, drops it down for his first bucket on the assist from Landon Schmitz. Schmitz has his back to the bucket. Colin cutting right in front of him, handed it off. It's a 13-point lead now for Axtell. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Hornick, a deep 3, tried for the bank. No shot, no good. And we're going to have a foul inside. Is that one going to be called on? That'll go on Brandon Schmelsley, his first personal. Now 15 for Axtell. The only hit on this Axtell team, of course, you play an aggressive physical style of defense. You're going to pick up fouls. They have 4 players that average 2 or plus 2 fouls per game. So we'll have to watch this here as the game goes on. At the line, it is Gabriel Rodick. Drops down the first personal foul. As that is where the Blue Jays have earned their living here in this one. Second goes down. No, misses that one. Board pulled down by Colin. Colin quickly up to Eli with 4 on the shot clock. Colin fakes on a 3, gives it to Eli. Triple in the corner. No, not that one. It looked good. It felt good, but it won't be good from Eli Brockstrom. But it's all Eagles at the end of the first period, 20-8 here in this contest as Axtell looks for their 3rd straight trip out to state. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
D&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. D&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. D&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. D&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Axtell Truss has the experience to provide custom-built trusses for any application. Put them to work with your next project. Let them help design the right pitch, length, and number of trusses to suit your needs. They can turn out more complicated designs and configurations as well. All are solidly built in their enclosed shop with roll-off delivery to your site available. They also assure the best materials and quality construction, completed on your schedule. Call today for a quote or more information at 785-736-2291. That's Axtell Truss.
As always, a big thank you to our Axtell sponsors here tonight. Axtell Hometown Lumber, Western National Bank, Axtell Trust, B&D Buildings, Axtell Car Wash, Little Joe's Service, Moonlight Restoration, the State Bank of Axtell, Blue Valley Technologies, Landall Company, and SBS Insurance of Seneca. Of course, if we missed you and you want to be on a state broadcast coming up next week, give us a call at the KNDY station, 562-2361, and we'll definitely get you on to that game to support your local Eagles. Shot will be missed by Roderick as now St. John's Tipton, second straight game trying to get that one out of my mouth, is now only 1 for 9 from the floor. They're 5 for 6 from the from the free throw line. Eli Brockschman fires up a triple again. He's good for 9 of those a game. He's already fired up 5 of them here in the first half. Lloyd St. John's looking for an answer. Banks in a 3 from the right corner. I don't know how that one kissed off glass for Tyson Gates, but it drops down nonetheless. Only the second field goal for the Blue Jays here in this one. Cuts the deficit back down to single digits. Again, a great crowd here for the Axtell Eagles. Of course, if you're listening in, we appreciate your support. Eli at the front of the rim now misses the bunny, but he's going to get a chance from the free throw line as there will be a personal foul called on Roderick, his second personal foul, and back to the line will go Axtell. The Eagles were 3 for 4 from the free throw strike in that first quarter. They were 8 for 13 from the floor, good enough for 62%, led especially by Logan Sandman, who checks back into the game for Landon Schmitz. Logan was 4 for 4 from the floor with 2 blocks, leaned away with 8 points, but again has those 2 fouls, so he's going to have to be careful here in the second half. Second free throw for Eli. He splits the pair, goes 1 for 2. Eagles push this lead back up to double digits. Top side now here for the Blue Jays. I was writing down something there. 3 ball off the curl screen is a miss. Sandman pulls down the board, rips it away from the Blue Jays, and Axtell's off and running left to right as we see it. Inside the lane, Brandon Schmelsley kicks it out. Landon Schmitz a 3. He got it. That was a good-looking shot there for Landon. He's perfect from the floor for 5 points. This lead grows now to 13. Full court pressure still applied here by the Eagles. Top side, it'll get set up by Grant Goodacre, hounded by Colin Shaughnessy. A reminder to check out TVL Sports Spotlight for all the up-to-date news and information from the TVL, courtesy of Jeff Works over there on the Facebook page, as he's been the one providing me scores and updates all night long. We'll take a look at those coming up here at halftime. Gives me a chance, too, to remind you to tune in to the TVL Rundown every Thursday during the 7, noon, and 5 o'clock blocks at KNDYradio.com, where me and Jeff discuss the latest happenings in the TVL. Hornick from the parking lot misses that one. Offensive board. A second one, though. Not that one either. And Schmelsley skies for the defensive board. Off and running are the Eagles. Schmitz to Sandman. Drops it in for Logan. Sandman puts it back. His fingertips touch the rim. Now double digits for Sandman at the other end. Good head fake from Grant Goodacre. He got both Colin Shaughnessy and Brandon Schmelsley jumping high. That's going to go on Brandon, his second personal foul now in this contest. Finish my thought there on the rundown, though. If you can't catch it during the 7, noon, and 5 o'clock news blocks, go on over to KNDYradio.com. Underneath the Sports Podcast tab, you can find the full extended version of what me and Jeff have to say. A lot of times we have a lot more than allows for radio time we have to say. Foul will be called on the inbound. Landon Schmitz picks up his first personal foul. Team foul number 2 for Axtell. They lead here by 14. 5:30 left to play until halftime. Head fake on a 3. Now we're going to get it back into the hands of Goodacre, top side. Around the horn it goes into Hornick. Hornick slips but stays with it. Axtell getting good man-to-man defense here early on. Only allowing 11 points in this contest against the Blue Jays team that on the season averages over 60 points per game. Good cheers here from the Axtell squad, but that leaves a wide open Hornick, and he misses the easy bunny from the left elbow, and it'll stay, though, with the Blue Jays. We saw it in the Axtell girls games last night, how Hanover just sped up Axtell girls, and it looks like St. John's Tipton is the same way here in this one. Now we're going to have an illegal screen as Hornick makes the 3, and an illegal screen will be called on the Blue Jays, number 3. First time off the bench here in the second quarter. That's going to go on Nicholas Newald, the 5'10" senior. Picks up his first personal foul. Axtell leading 25-11, 4:50 left to play. A deep 3 from Shaughnessy, offensive board, ripped down by Axtell, though, and that's part of their bread and butter. They might shoot a lot of 3s, but they get a lot of offensive board. Sandman over the top of the defense. He's going to be fouled and earn a trip to the free throw line for Logan Sandman. Axtell's 7th and 8th trip here to the line as Grant Goodacre will pick up his second personal foul. Logan at the line. Righty drops that one down. Good-looking shot there as he's now got 11 in this contest. Where are we here? Second one upcoming for Logan. Not that one, right at his 50% mark for the season. It'll be tipped out, but it'll stay with the Blue Jays. 4:39 left to play here. First half action. It's coming up here at halftime. Not only will we recap this one, but we'll give you scores and updates from other state action elsewhere around the state. At the end of the day, all state brackets will be set. Stepping into a three is Tyson Gates. He's now 2 for 4 from behind the arc. At the other end, Smelsley walks into one on the trail. No, but right there, right place, right time. Again, for Landon Schmitz, puts it in for his third bucket in as many attempts. At the other end, Hornick. No, defensive board, Sandman off and running. Here come the Eagles. Right wing, Smelsley, no look to Smith. Smith will now work it top side. Brocksterman, 3, no, not that one. And Smith will pick up a cheap foul, kind of sticking his hands up there for an offensive board. And you're hearing a lot of threes from Axtell. Well, that's just what they do. Eli Brocksterman averages 8.5 threes. Colin Shaughnessy, 5. Wyatt Detweiler, 2. Smith will get up a 3. Brandon Schmelsley, a 3.5 per game. And again, all started by the size inside by Logan Sandman, who forces a turnover here by the Blue Jays. Here come the Eagles, working right to left. Inside Sandman, a lot of contact, and we're going to get a foul. I'm going to go ahead and call that a bear hug, not a foul. Who do we give this one on, though, down low, as there's 4 Blue Jays down there. 13 picks that one up, or 31, Tyson Gates picks up his first personal foul. 14-point lead for Axtell. Smelsley inside. Brocksterman left corner. No, can't get that one to go. As Eli now 1 for 7 from the floor. At the other end, 3-ball right wing. That rattles home for Caden Raid. His first triple in as many attempts. This lead back down to single digits for the Blue Jays. 28-17, 3:13 left to play before halftime. Sandman, cross-court skip pass, short corner, Smelsley from the right side is good. Brandon, such a smooth-looking stroke from about 15 out. He's got 5 now in this contest. Full court pressure still being applied by the Eagles. Left corner, Hornick will get us going. He slows it down, guarded by Wyatt Detweiler. Floater over Detweiler. Shot missed, no, 1 and done for the Blue Jays. Hornick now 0 for 5 from the floor in this quarter. Good pass by Detweiler into Sandman, who finishes that one off. Logan Sandman, have yourself a night so far. That's 13 points for the sophomore down low, and now an unforced turnover by the Blue Jays, number 7 in this half, as we're going to see number 22, Dalton Heinen, for the first time in this contest for Axtell, the 6'3 senior, getting checked in here in this second quarter. Heinen, a solid role player, too, for the Axtels, comes into the contest averaging 2 points per game. And another one down. What? Okay. Eli Brocksterman gets a bucket. Axtell comes back with a steal and a score. Was right down my stats there and had to get a little help from the Axtell faithful here from Tesket on that bucket. And a foul will be called now. And Gabriel Rodick, that's his third personal foul. And at the line is Colin Shaughnessy for his first free throws of this contest. Drops down the first one. Axtell shooting their 10th and 11th free throws already here in this first half. Shaughnessy, a 63% free throw shooter. Looking to go 100 here on this one. Nope. Announcer's jinx didn't work. He goes 2 for 2 on the stripe. 4. Good head pressure again applied by the Eagles. 36-17 is our score. 1:52 left to play before half. A deep three from the Blue Jays is a miss, but an offensive board will be tracked down. Now inside through the contact shot, no on first try. Second try for Tyson Gates. We'll drop this one in for at least some foul shots and an opportunity for the Blue Jays. That personal foul will go on Eli Brockstrom, and that's his first. First free throws, 2 for Tyson Gates here in this contest. He drops down that one. First free throws by the Blue Jays in this quarter. If they go 5 for 6 in that first quarter. 1:41 left to play until halftime. Second free throw rattles off. Good defensive board by Dalton Heinen. It's going to be poked out of bounds, but stay with the Eagles. All of a sudden, this lead has ballooned up to 18 for the Blue Jays. They just can't find their mark from the floor. They have 3 field goals here in the second quarter, only 4 for the game. All 3 in the second quarter are triples, too. Only thing keeping us a little closer. Eli a 3, no. Brandon tied up with Hornick for the board. It comes back into the hands of Shaughnessy, and Colin Shaughnessy has an opportunity for an old-fashioned 3-point play. Axtell uber aggressive here in this one. It's now a 20-point lead for halftime. And Axtell looking like the dominant team they have been all season. Of course, won the TBL for the first time, regular season in school history. 3 straight league tournament championships, too, as well. Shaughnessy calmly knocks down that free throw. Axtell now 5 for 7 from the line in the corner. Turnover forced by the Eagles. Detweiler, left wing. Shaughnessy looking to go. That's going to be a foul called on the Blue Jays. Colin Shaughnessy picks up the offensive foul. His second on that one. Just a little shoulder rub, I'm actually going to say, as Cabe Rabb kind of fell down on that one. They're going to keep calling out there for the final 60 seconds. Dalton Heinen, Colin Shaughnessy, Wyatt Detweiler, Eli Brockstrom, and Brandon Schmelsley out there for the final 60 here of this first half. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, recap our first half, take a look at scores around the state, kind of preview our state action coming up. Floater inside by the Blue Jays is off. It's going to be staying here on the right side of the court. Again, Edward Hornick had 7 points in the first quarter, but since then has been shut out in this contest. He's the 21st leading scorer in the state of Kansas at 22.3 points per game. And Axtell has closed down the well in this second quarter especially. This is going to be a near carry. We're not going to call it. Hornick working against Detweiler. Walks into a right wing 3. No, not on that one. Schmelsley pulls down the board. And we're going to have a double dribble called as Brandon Schmelsley tried to get it off to Eli Brockstrom. Only the second turnover here for Axtell in this game. Final 22 seconds coming up here in this first half. Joe Leibarger will check in the final 22 seconds. Going to check out Colin Shaughnessy with 2 fouls. Now we're going to see Gavin Shaughnessy 2 as well. A little used senior shooting guard. Gavin will check out Brandon Schmelsley, who also has 2 fouls. Final 22 seconds of this first half. Axtell leading big, 39-18. Defense is the key, as always, for the Eagles. Here's a little feed inside. Good hands by Heinen, who poked it from around and now forces a turnover for the Blue Jays. They're 10th in this first half. And just like that, we're going to see Sandman, Shaughnessy, and Schmelsley back into the game for this offensive possession. Final 9 seconds. It's those 3 along with Brockstrom and Detweiler out there. Let's see what we get. Yep, Sandman's going to roll this one. Wyatt Detweiler picks it up at half. Left wing, Shaughnessy looking for a cutter. Now back around the horn. Left side, Schmelsley attacks baseline with 2, looking for a cutter. They lose it. Brockstrom has to, I don't want to say has to, he dribbles all the way out to the 3, fires up the 3 at the end of the buzzer, but it's going to be no good. But it's all Axtell Eagles here in this contest as they outscore the St. John's Tipton Blue Jays 19-10 in the second quarter, thanks in part to 13 points from Logan Sandman in that first half. We're going to take a timeout for halftime. Again, your halftime score, Axtell leading 39-18 here in this one, looking for their third straight trip to state out at Colby. And again, the second time these two teams have met up in 2 years. It's all Axtell Eagles in the first half as they try and become the second TVL team to punch their ticket to state here from Tesket this evening. They again lead at half, 39-18. Take a quick break. When we come back, recap of this first half and scores from elsewhere around the state, brought to you by Jeff Wertz of the TVL Sports Spotlight here on KNDY Radio, FM 95.5.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
As the weather turns warm, it may be time to breathe new life into your outdoor space. Visit Hometown Lumber in Marysville or Axtell Lumber today to browse their wide selection of premium lawn fertilizers and insect repellents, grass seed, potting soil, and lawn tools to make the job easier. All the gardening essentials for whether you're a seasoned green thumb or a budding enthusiast, Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber have what you need to grow something beautiful this year.
Dr. Brittany here with Marysville Dental Care, where your family's health is our top priority. Dr. Zach, our team, and I are the family dental home you've always been looking for.
Our comprehensive dental care is designed to serve all of your dental needs. Whether it's a routine cleaning, braces, or cosmetic work, we provide the highest quality of care with a comfortable experience. Visit our office across from the Marysville Courthouse or go to marysvilledentalcare.com to schedule a visit.
Have the smile you've always wanted with our team by your side.
Don't we all wish it was sunny and 70 degrees outside? Good news, this is the Midwest, and while it probably won't be tomorrow, those days aren't far off, and neither is planting season. Reviewing machinery insurance values before it comes out of the shed is easier than during claim time. We work with several different companies to offer options tailored to your individual operation. Give us a call, and one of our many knowledgeable farm agents would be happy to come out and help.
SBS Insurance, the home team. The answer is yes.
Of course, a big thank you to our Axtell sponsors making this broadcast possible, including Axtell and Hometown Lumber, Western National Bank, Axtell Trust, the B&D Buildings, Brad Rockstrom, and Little Joe's Service, the Axtell Car Wash, Moonlight Restoration, the State Bank of Axtell, Blue Valley Technologies, Landell Company, SBS Insurance as well. And, of course, our big thank you to Marysville Dental Care, bringing you Game of the Week broadcasts all regular season long. We're giving their word of advice here in the postseason, too, as well. It's all Axtell Eagles in the first half, leading 39-18. Axtell outscored Beloit St. John's Tipton 20-8 in the first quarter and outscored them 19-10 in the second quarter. Looking at scoring totals, first for the Blue Jays, St. John's Tipton, it has been basically two players. Tyson Gates with 7 points. He had all 7 of those in the second quarter thanks to 2 triples. But 22-point-per-game scorer, Edward Hornick, the 6-foot junior, who averaged 15 a game last year, bumped that up to 22.5, top 30 scored in the state of Kansas, held to 7 points in that first half. He was 0-for-6 from the floor in the second quarter, held scoreless in that quarter, too, as well. So Axtell defense, can listen to this here real quick in terms of shooting stats. They held the Blue Jays to 12% shooting in the first quarter. They held them to 20% in the second quarter. That means St. John's Tipton is only shooting 17% in this entire first half of basketball as a team that averages just north of 60 points per game is held to 18 through 16 minutes of play in the first half. The Blue Jays did go 6 for 8 from the free throw line. That's good enough for 3/4, 75%, but they did have 10 turnovers to go along with those free throws. So 7 points for Edward Warnick, 7 points for Tyson Gates, 3 from Caden Rabe, and 1 for Gabriel Roderick, and that is it. Roderick has 3 fouls, Grant Goodacre has 2, and Tyson Gates also has 2. As for the Axtell Eagles, tell me if you've heard this one before, but their defense leads to offense as the Axtell crowd jamming to a little YMCA here at the Tesket High School Gymnasium. A very balanced attack. Your top 6 scorers on the season, all in the scoring column here in this one, led by Logan Sandman, who has 13 points. He is perfect from the floor, 6 for 6. Of course, everything right in front of the basket for Sandman, as Axtell is getting everything they want here in this contest whenever they want it. So 13 from Sandman, 7 from Landon Schmitz, who he is perfect from the floor, 3 for 3. 7 also for Colin Shaughnessy. He has 3 free throws in this contest. Let me see here real quick. 5 for Brandon Schmelsley, 6 for Eli Brocksterman, and 2 for Wyatt Detweiler. I'm 1 point off somewhere, but that's why we always say these stats are about as unofficial as they can get. From the free throw line, Axtell in that first half was 8 for 11, good enough for 73% from the strike, and they only turn it over 2 times. Meanwhile, shooting the ball from the floor, an Axtell team that shoots 48% on the season is shooting it at a clip of 58% in that first half. And again, running away with this contest, 39-18. Want to take a quick peek at scores elsewhere around the state. Again, Valley Heights girls punched their ticket to a state championship game with a come-from-behind win over Kansas City Christian, 52-36, in the 2A Valley Heights girls sub-state. Over in Centralia, the Class 1A Division 1 sub-state is shaping out. Centralia girls punched their ticket last night. Earlier today, Clifton Clyde defeated Burlingame from a come-from-behind victory, 54-50. Right now in the second championship game, Frankfort is up on Blue Valley, 27-18. Of course, Blue Valley took care of top-seeded Lincoln, 61-24 back on Monday in second-round action, setting up that Twin Valley League matchup in championship action. Frankfort under third-year head coach Adam Schreiner looking for their first trip to state in quite a while. Shifting our attention to this Class 1A Division II sub-state down here in Tesket. Of course, last night Hanover took care of Axtell. That's a girls' score for you. Give me just a second. Again, that final score was Hanover running away with it, 46-25 over Axtell. And then in our second game last night, Lynn girls punched their first ticket to state since the 2008 season with a 52-35 victory over St. John's Tipton. Final minute of halftime. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, second half action for a boys championship birthright to state here on KNDY.
Landall Company in Marysville is now hiring for various positions. Excellent pay, growth potential, and outstanding benefits that include annual wage reviews, incentive bonus with 60% of profits given back to employees, attendance bonus, comprehensive insurance plan with $500 deductible, paid time off, paid holidays, 401k, and much more. Apply online at landall.com or phone 785-562-5381. EEO Vets and Disability, welcome.
Quick 30-second break where we're going to get you back to game time action as we've got 16 minutes left here in this contest. Axtell boys looking for their third trip to state under ninth-year head coach Jason Tynan. Same starting lineup for the boys: Landon Schmitz, Wyatt Detweiler, Eli Brocksterman, Brandon Schmelsley, and Logan Sandman. Same for the Blue Jays: Grant Goodert, Edward Warnick, Ryder Allen, Gabriel Roderick, and Tyson Gates. First possession will be for the Blue Jays. A little, I don't even want to call that a hook shot, an over-the-head shot. I don't know what that was, but Gabriel Roderick just had to get it up over Schmelsley and Sandman. It drops down for his first bucket from the floor. Only the fifth bucket from the floor for the Blue Jays in this game. 2-3 defense here for St. John's Tipton. They're hounding Schmelsley outside. Gets poked away from Brandon. It'll stay here with the Eagles. A reminder that you can listen back to any of our KNDY Sports broadcasts at KNDYradio.com underneath the Sports Podcast Rewind tab wherever you are, whether it's from basketball, football, or even last year's baseball season. 3 is missed by Landon Schmitz. It leads to a run out. Tyson Gates drops down his first bucket of the second half. That was Landon's first miss here tonight in 4 attempts. But again, all Axtell as they led 20-8 at the end of the first quarter and led at halftime 39-18. Schmitz up top will get us set up here on Axtell's second possession. It's 2-3 defense here for the Blue Jays. Schmitz gets the wayward pass, finds Sandman inside, and Logan Sandman does what he does, drops it in for 2. 15 now for the sophomore down low, as the guards have been doing an excellent job of putting that ball right where Logan wants it for that bucket. And Axtell looking for their second win over these Blue Jays in just as many years. They met in first round of action of state last year, and as Axtell running away with it, here's a little baseline shot from Roderick, his second bucket, many tries in the second half. Beloit looking for offense. Again, a team that averages 60 points per game, actually north of 60 points per game, right at 62 points per game, 60.75 on the season, held to 24 so far. Long 3 from Eli Brocksterman, who can't seem to find the mark. At the other end, Brocksterman, though, pokes it away. Turnover, Blue Jays. Eli will slow it down. Landon Smith's top of the key will get us set up kind of against a 2-1-2, honestly, kind of box defense, as Hornerick right in the middle of this defense patrolling the free throw line. Schmitz at the top of the key. We're going to work a 4-man set over on the left side of the floor. Lone man here on the right side is Eli Brockster. Of course, we switch sides here at half, so Axtell will now work left to right as we see it from Tuscan High School. First substitution, Colin Shaughnessy off the bench, who had 7 points, leading scorer for this Eagles team. 7 points off the bench for Shaughnessy. He'll check out Wyatt Detweiler. Sandman fakes on a 3. He's not afraid to take him. Leads to an Eli Brocksterman 3. No dice, ball being tipped around. Going to go over to the Blue Jays. Wow. That was, I don't even know how to describe that one, honestly. Brandon Schmelsley tapped it out here near side, flung that sucker behind his back. It ended up all the way over about 4 rows deep on the other side of the court. There's some throw power there from the KU football commit. 4:45 left to play in this third quarter of our championship Saturday, game number 2, as Hornerick knocks down a triple straight on. He's now got double digits. This lead for Axtell now down to 14. But at the other side, we're going to make it 16 as Logan Sandman continues to work inside. That's now 17 for Logan. His only faux pas from the floor is a missed free throw in the second quarter, so not much to complain about from the sophomore. Yates is hounded out top by Brocksterman. He gets it off right side now. We're going to have an offensive foul called on Edward Hornick. His first personal foul as he threw Landon Schmitz to the ground. Oh, I thought that was going to go on 5 there. It goes on Ryder Allen, who they put it up there on the scoreboard with. 43-37, 4 minutes left to play at third quarter action. And if you're just joining us, Hanover boys had an instant classic earlier tonight in which they defeated previously unbeaten and second-ranked Logan Palco 56-51. Colin Chauncey fires up a 3. Offensive board, Logan Sandman. Have yourself a night, young man. He is working everywhere on those boards down low for head coach Jason Tynan and his Eagles. Here's a loose ball taken. Sandman diving on it. We're going to have a foul on Logan as him and Ryder Allen collided right there at half court. Logan also pitching in 2 blocks as well as his activity on the boards. Substitution here as Caden Ray will check in for the contest. Also back will come Dominique Eilert, as Ryder Allen will go to the bench. Eagles up 18, 3.5 minutes left to play, third quarter action. Here live from Tescott High School, Max Blasky with you, as we have been all weekend long. Blue Jays looking for an answer on a 3. Shot off, no good. Offensive board, though. Blue Jays put back is good here from Gabriel Roderick. He's got 6 points, 3 for 3 from the floor here in this second half alone. Top side, Schmelsley reverses it. Now skip pass left corner, Detweiler. Detweiler baseline, a little 12-foot pull-up shot, no good from Wyatt. Now foul will be called, I believe, on Detweiler trying to get that ball back from St. John's Tipton. No, it won't go on Wyatt. That'll go on Eli Brocksterman, his second personal foul. A reminder that KUDY will have live play-by-play coverage of state action coming up next Wednesday and Thursday from Colby, Kansas. So on Wednesday, girls action will start with Hanover and Lynn girls. Then we're going to have boys action with Hanover. It's looking like Axtell so far here in this one. KUDY, of course, is your live sports coverage for TVL Sports and beyond, not only in the postseason, but all season long. KUDY has been there for these TVL teams. Turnover as Warnick goes crashing to the floor. Travel will be called. A little wet spot right in front of the St. John's Tipton bench. Give me a chance to remind you, too, that stay tuned to KUDY Facebook for those start times. We'll release the brackets just as soon as they come about on our Facebook page, as well as Monday we'll have reports on FM 95.5, AM 1570, and FM 94.1. A 3 is missed by Eli Brocksterman, but Axtell starting to show their muscle inside as Colin Shaughnessy gets the offensive board. And now a turnover for the Blue Jays, their 13th in this game, as this lead is ballooned back up to 18 for Axtell. But we'll, of course, release those state brackets just as soon as they become available, most likely sometime tomorrow on the KUDY Facebook page. If you haven't given us a like, go ahead and do it. Like the post, too, as well. Good feed from Shaughnessy to Brocksterman as Eli drops down his second deuce here tonight. 49-29, now 20-point lead for Axtell. They look to be in control here in the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. And I'm sure I mentioned a little bit earlier about the TVL rundown. I'm sure Jeff and I will chat about the dominance of the TVL here in these sub-state games, which we have seen all weekend long, not only here from Tescott, but over in Centralia and at Valley Heights. Substitution, Landon Schmitz will check back in. Logan Sandman will go out. Sub 2 for the Blue Jays, and to catch that number. But Edward Hornick stays out there for the Jays. And this is a Boyd St. John's Tipton team that has had success in the postseason the last couple of years. Of course, they met Axtell in first-round action last year. 2 years ago, they lost in first-round action to Lebo. And back in 2019-2020, they lost to Frankfort in first round before, of course, that was canceled due to COVID. Hard to believe. That's already 5 years ago now that kind of came through. I wasn't with KUDY at the time, but Bruce Derkeen will often talk about him setting out there at state, getting the word during the first round, wondering what was going to happen. And after a wild shot by St. John's, a timeout will be taken, 30 seconds to save a possession. We'll take it with them real quick. Axtell in control of this one, leading by 20, final 64 seconds of this third quarter.
Always happy with your 5-star customer service.
Your staff was super friendly and easy to work with.
Quick, helpful, responsive. Thank you. I'm so happy to be a Blue Valley customer.
Blue Valley is awesome.
Blue Valley employees are always helpful, kind, and efficient.
At Blue Valley Technologies, we appreciate all our customers. Thank you for entrusting us to keep you connected.
Max Blasky back with you here on KDY FM 95.5. I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you haven't liked our Facebook page, go ahead and do that if you can. But for all those of you with a smartphone, which is now probably about 99% of people in today's day and age, go download the free KDY app. You can listen to us wherever you go, especially with state action going up. If you have to be out of county, out of state, or even out of country, too, you can listen to KDY not only nationwide but worldwide wherever you go. Final 60 seconds here, the third quarter, 20-point lead for Axtell boys. Pass picked off by Schmelsley, 2-on-1. Detweiler to the rim, puts it down for two for Wyatt Detweiler. Beautifully laid pass from Schmelsley to Detweiler. On another Blue Jays turnover. At the other end, three is down, though, for Tyson Gates. He's got 5 points now in this quarter, a dozen for the senior. Axtell will hold for the last shot of this quarter as we go under 20 seconds here from Tuscan High School. Detweiler, top side, right wing, swing pass left. Now, free throw line, Schmelsley, such a smooth-looking shot from inside from Brandon Schmelsley. Of course, takes all the highlights on the football field, but allows everyone else to get in action on the basketball court. Here's a three to end the third quarter, back-to-back triples here by Tyson Gates. But again, it's all Axtell through three quarters of play. Eagles leading 53-35. We'll take a timeout when we come back. Final stanza here from Tuscan High School.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it in to the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, sandblasting, no job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
Kind of interesting third quarter there. The Blue Jays end up outscoring Axtell by 3, but no free throws either side. Axtell ends up going 7 for 13 from the floor, enough for 54% as their hot shooting night continues here from Tuscan High School. Of course, a lot of these shots have been inside. They had about half as many threes attempted. They'd probably be shooting about 70% here in this game. Here's Schmelsley right at the front of the rim, and he's going to continue his muster in this one. Brandon now with 7, 8 points for Eli Brocksherman, 4 for Wyatt Detweiler, 7 for Landon Schmitz. But the big man down low, Logan Sandman, have yourself a night with 19 points to lead all scores in this contest. Blue Jays shooting did come back to earth, or I guess to get back to the medium a little bit as Brandon Schmelsley picks up his third personal foul. They go 7 for 9 in that third quarter after shooting just 17% in the first half for St. John's Tipton. Free throws now at the line for Tyson Gates. Second one will be a miss as it's a three-point foul shot. Didn't quite catch that as I was writing down some notes. Gates leading scorer with 15 here in this contest. Of course, leading scorer Edward Ornick only with 10 in this one. Gates goes 2 for 3. I'll make sure I get it in the right quarter here. There we go. Now 17 for the senior Gates. 7:16 left to play in this contest. Of course, coming up at the end of the game, we'll have a recap of this one as well as taking a look at at scores elsewhere around the contest is around the state. It's a 2-point game between Frankfort and Blue Valley in the final 60 seconds of that contest over at Centralia. Let's see if Blue Valley can play spoiler throughout the state. Again, the Rams took care of top-seeded Lincoln 61-34 in second-round action. They took out 8-seeded Centralia 55-52 in overtime, and now they're in a barn burner with Frankfort in the final minute of that contest. Again, like I said, I think Blue Valley might be looking for their first trip to state in school history if they're able to hold on for that one. It's going to be an offensive foul call and Gabriel Roderick, so for a turnover on the Blue Jays. Now 16 so far here in this game. A deep three from Colin Shaughnessy finds the bottom of the bucket. Double digits now for Shaughnessy with an even dozen points here tonight for the leading scorer for the Eagles. Hornerick working his way inside for the free throw line. Fancy dribbling shot, miss. Smelsley leads it off to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy all alone. Double was going for the dunk. The defense, though, came from the Blue Jays. At the other end, shot is up and down for the Jays. That's going to be, I think it was number 4. I don't have 4 on my scoring sheet so far here in this one, so we'll get a check on who that was here in just a little bit. Let's do what Shaughnessy does a little bit better. He drains his second three in as many tries from the left corner on that one. Now 6 points here in this quarter and make it 15 for Shaughnessy just like that. I checked it there earlier. The number 4 for the Blue Jays is going to be John Mick, the 6-foot junior. Inside, left wide open from the right block there is Mick. He's kind of turning in a nice little quarter for the junior. Now 4 points in this final 8 minutes. But it's again Axtell leading by 20 as Landon Schmitz will pick up a third personal foul. In Axtell last season, I was down there at Great Bend for the boys contest. I'm trying to remember exactly who they played in their state championship run. Of course, they played the St. John's Tipton team first round, beat them. They lost in second round action on a poor shooting night from the Eagles, but came back and walloped in the third and fourth place game as Wyatt Detweiler drains a deep three from the left wing. Detweiler's first triple in 2 attempts here in this contest. At the other end, a three is going to be missed by the Blue Jays, Tyson Gates. But again, last year, Axtell finished third at state. That's after a fourth-place finish 2 years ago. Looking for a state championship this year. Brandon Schmelsley, too easy, all the way to the rim. Now double digits for Schmelsley. At the other end, Hornerick will take it right into the chest of Logan Sandman. Sandman will pick up his fourth personal foul. He was straight up, though. And I guess we're going to give it to Hornerick. Free throws now coming for the junior. First one for Edward. Drops that one down. Substitution, Landon Smith will check out Logan Sandman, who's had himself, again, a heck of a game. 19 points. He has yet to miss a shot from the floor. Only shot he's missed is a free throw. Hornerick drops down the second free throw. Now a dozen for the 22-point-per-game score. Again, a top 30 scorer in the state of Kansas. But Axtell defense has been hounding him so far here tonight. We've only seen 5 Blue Jays score in this contest. 2-1-2 defense for the Blue Jays. 3-ball. Shaughnessy, no offensive board. Eli Brocksterman, and a charge is going to be called by Eli Brocksterman against Jason Tynan and James Shaughnessy. Not too happy with that one. Neither is the Axtell crowd. I might go along with them on that one. Good job by Hornerick to step in and take that charge, though. It's all Axtell here in this fourth quarter, up 23 points. Hornerick to the other end. A travel up down for 2. Grant Goodacre puts in his first bucket here tonight, making it, cutting the deficit down, I guess, just a little bit there. Now up to 21 for Axtell. 4:17 left to play. Smelsley right into the contact of the lengthy rider, Allen. He picks up his second personal foul. Free throws now coming for Brandon Smelsley. Axtell goes 8 for 11 from the line in the first half. This is their first free throws here in the second half. Neither team shot free throws in the third quarter either. Smelsley, good-looking free throw stroke, knocks down the first one. Now 13 for Brandon in this game. Again, stay tuned afterwards. We're going to have a full recap of this one and get you ready for state action coming up next week from Colby, Kansas. Second one from Brandon. Knocks that one down, 6 in the quarter. It's going to be poked out of bounds by Landon Schmitz, but will stay with the Blue Jays. 23-point advantage for Axtell. And again, they've just been dominant the entire contest. They led by 12 at the end of the first quarter. They led 39-18 at halftime, 53-35 at the end of the third quarter. And again, just a big, strong, physical Twin Valley League team that the rest of the state of Kansas is going to have to contend without at Colby next week. Right to the front of the rim, though, goes Tyson Gates. He'd have himself a nice game. He went scoreless in the first quarter, but now unofficially with 19 points for Tyson Gates, the 5'11 senior, probably playing in his last ball game wearing that Blue Jays uniform. Dalton Heinen, high-low pass, a little bit too low there for Smelsley. Only the third turnover, though, by Schmidt. There's a collective ooh from the crowd. He pins the Blue Jay cheerleader against the baseline. She looks okay. Always fun, though, a little bit when those happens when you're from the crowd. You ever played the game of basketball? You know how close those cheerleaders can get sometimes against the baseline. 3 ball off the inbounds is down from Tyson Gates. Drops that one down. A timeout will be called by the Blue Jays just to save a little face. Still an 18-point game. Lead for Axtell. We'll take a timeout with them. Final stanza here from Tasket, Kansas. We'll be back after this.
If your car says, I need fixed, call on Little Joe's Service in Axtell to fix it right. From routine maintenance to repairs of all types, Joe can serve your needs. Fast, friendly, and down-to-earth service with satisfied customers from all over the area. Turn to Little Joe's 66th Service in Axtell for any automotive repair needs. Proud supporters of the Axtell community, it's Little Joe's Service.
As always, not only a big thank you to our sponsors that you hear during this broadcast, but also a big thank you to Jeff Wirtz of the TVL Sports Spotlight, keeping me updated on scores from around the state. It's the Frankfort boys moving on to the Class 1A Division I state round down at Dodge City. They come up with a pair of defensive stops late in that contest to win 44-36 over Blue Valley. Here in this one, an 18-point lead for Axtell, 3:19 left to play in this contest. And it's been all Axtell Eagles looking for their third straight trip to state under head coach Jason Tynan. Landon Schmitz brings it across the timeline, left to right, as we see it here from Tasket High School. 2 TVL teams will punch their ticket to Class 1A Division I. 2 TVL teams punch their ticket to Class 1A Division II as well. If Axtell holds on to this one, Schmidt's a wild up-and-down runner for Landon. We go under 3 minutes here in this ball game. And it's been a good season here for the St. John's Tipton Blue Jays. They won't earn 3 straight trips to state. Looks like they're going to finish here this season 14-7. There's a 3. There's still fight, though, from the Blue Jays. Tyson Gates, have yourself a contest. 6, 8, 10, 25 now for Gates in this ballgame as he goes diving to the floor. Took a shot in the gut from Dalton Heinen. Gates will come to the bench, though, as he has left it all out on the floor here tonight. Good effort from Gates. Substitution, Dalton Heinen will check back out. Wyatt Detweiler back into the contest. It's Colin Shaughnessy, Detweiler, Schmidt, Sandman, and Brocksterman. Man-to-man defense here now for the Blue Jays. Looking for some help. Brandon Schmelsley right side. Finds a streaking Logan Sandman from the right block. Handoff Detweiler misses the bunny. Second one, no. But now foul shots upcoming here for Eli Brocksterman. And Axtell has been dominant down low here in this contest, getting everything that they need right at the front of the rim as Eli Brocksterman rattles in the first free throw. Good from the free throw line, too, as well. A team in Axtell that as a team only shoots 54% as Eli knocks down the free throw. It gets Jason Tynan. We'll take a timeout. We'll keep it right here, though. Axtell 4 for 4 from the free throw line in this fourth quarter. They were 8 for 11 in the first half, so that makes them 12 for 15. That's 80% for a team that, again, just shoots it at a 54% clip from the free throw line. They must like this gym, too, as well, because they shot it a 58% clip in the first half. They were 54% in the third quarter. And here real quickly, Axtell is 3 for 5, 5 for 7, 5 for 8 in the fourth quarter. That's good enough for 63%. So Axtell has just been a dominating effort here in this one as they, again, the final 2 minutes of this contest, punch their ticket to a third straight state championship run under head coach Jason Tynan. They finished fourth 2 years ago. They finished third last year. They will look for a first-place finish here this season, and it'll be a real interesting matchup. If we can get a TVL matchup anywhere at State out in Colby, a three ball is down by Gabriel Rodick. A quick timeout will be taken, though, by St. John's Tipton. It's either a 30 or a full. It's a full timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second break. We'll be back here to test it after this.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a money rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Coming into this weekend's action, TVL teams had 9 opportunities to get to state. So far, TVL is perfect as Doniphan West wins in their championship matchup over top-seeded Wabaunsee by 4 points. TVL just, again, dominant here tonight. Axtell looking to make it 9 for 9. Edward Hornick takes it right to the front of the rim, drops it down for 2. And now Axtell should be going to the line as that's 5 personal fouls called on St. John's Tipton. First one called on Edward Hornick will send Eli Brocksterman to the line. First one here for Brocksterman drops down. So again, TVL does what the TVL does. They had 9 chances to get teams to state. Axtell holding on to this big lead in the final 30. They're going to send 9 teams to state as it has just been a dominating effort from the league here so far this season. Again, I'm going to sound like a homer like most people as Eli goes 1 for 2 from the line, but just one of the best, if not the absolute best, small school league in the entire state of Kansas. And I'm not even going to say even sometimes a small school on that one. They just might be the flat-out best league in the state of Kansas. 2 threes are missed by the Blue Jays, and that might be the final straw as Brandon Smelsley drops it in for an old-fashioned three-point opportunity. Free throws now coming for Smelsley to close this ball game out. That foul will go on Ryder Allen, his third personal foul. So, again, a big thank you to the rest of the state of Kansas that kind of changed up these sub-state brackets and allowed some more opportunities for TVL teams to get and do what they do best, and that's win ball games in big minutes. Smelsley finishes the play at the other end. He gets the block on Hornerick. As we go under the final 60 seconds of this ball game, a 74-point outburst for the Axtell boys. Looking at it real quick, I'll try and see the last time they scored this much was, as there's a pretty fast and Smelsley to Shaughnessy. It continues to pour on down here in Tuscan for the Axtell boys. 76 now for Axtell, as this will be a charge now on St. John's Tipton down low. Let me see here. So far in this year, the lowest scoring output for Axtell, besides the 30 and the loss versus Osborne, was 46 versus Centralia in second round of sub-state. And here come the subs for head coach Jason Tynan's team. Landon Schmitz, Eli Brockman, Brandon Smelsley, Wyatt Detweiler, and Colin Shaughnessy all to the bench, as they will earn a third straight trip to the state tournament out in Colby in for the Eagles. Give me a second here. It's going to be Joe Liebarger along with Bill Liebarger, Dalton Heinen. They don't have a 21 on here for the Eagles. Lucas Talbot also in there along with Gavin Shaughnessy. We've got a foul here, the final 29 seconds, to send the before-mentioned Bill Liebarger to the line for 2 free throws, the 6-foot freshman. And again, I don't want to say a young Axtell team, but a solid mix of experience and youth that will be back for the Eagles next year. But business is not finished for this season and this Axtell Eagles team. St. John's Beloit Tipton won their season 14-7. There goes the seniors for the Blue Jays. It's always tough to end your year on a loss, but we're going to give every one of them a big round of applause, especially senior Tyson Gates, who on this year in a points per game average, Gates only averaged 8.5 points per game, but in a championship contest, he erupted for 6, 8, 10, 25 points in this contest. Lieberger goes 0 for 2 from the line, but an offensive board pulled down by Talbot. Inside shot will be wildly missed. Offensive board, Lieberger. Lieberger steps on the line. Turnover, Axtell. But it doesn't matter here in this one, as it's going to be the Axtell Eagles running away with this contest, barring any final score, 76-58, as Axtell punches their third straight ticket to a state championship game. Missed 3 by the Blue Jays. Off and running are the Eagles. Poked away from behind. It's going to stay with Axtell. Again, we're going to take a quick time out at the end of this broadcast. We're going to recap our game here from Tuscan and then get you ready for state action next week. Inbounds pass taken by Dalton Heinen. Left block, kick out. Talbot 3. No, not on that one. And there's the final horn. It's the Axtell boys running away with it, 76-58. Their third straight trip to state under head coach Jason Tynan, as the St. John's Tipton season ends at 14-7 for the first time in 3 years. They do not make a state title, but it's the Axtell boys. Again, I think one of the best teams in Class 1A Division II, running away with this contest, 76-58 here from Tuscan High School. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, recap this game, and get you ready for state action from Colby next week.
Axtell Truss has the experience to provide custom-built trusses for any application. Put them to work with your next project. Let them help design the right pitch, length, and number of trusses to suit your needs. They can turn out more complicated designs and configurations as well. All are solidly built in their enclosed shop with roll-off delivery to your site available. They also assure the best materials and quality construction, completed on your schedule. Call today for a quote or more information at 785-736-2291. That's Axtell Truss.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
As the weather turns warm, it may be time to breathe new life into your outdoor space. Visit Hometown Lumber in Marysville or Axtell Lumber today to browse their wide selection of premium lawn fertilizers and insect repellents, grass seed, potting soil, and lawn tools to make the job easier. All the gardening essentials for whether you're a seasoned green thumb or a budding enthusiast, Hometown Lumber in Marysville and Axtell Lumber have what you need to grow something beautiful this year.
Postseason basketball is here again as the teams of the Twin Valley League are geared up and ready to play. Along with the great coverage you get here on KNDY, come over to TVLspotlight.com and get the most in-depth and up-to-the-minute scores and stories of the TVL teams in this year's tournaments. TVLspotlight.com, your source for everything in the Twin Valley League.
KNDY has been your sports leader of local teams since the days of leather helmets.
Well, okay, not that long, but since the days before the Blue Valley and Nemaha Valley Leagues combined, for over 40 years, KNDY has been your source for scores, interviews, and live play-by-play action of your favorite teams all season long. The game and technology may have changed, but our coverage remains the same. KNDY, your area sports leader, on air, online, and on our mobile app.
Yes, KNDY is your area sports leader, not only in the postseason, but all season long. KNDY has been here for your favorite sports teams. You're the Axtell Eagles. You're extremely happy with this performance. They run away with it 76-58 over St. John's Tipton. It was a dominating effort from start to finish as Axtell outscores St. John's in the first half, 39-18. The Blue Jays get 2 points in each quarter a total of 4 points outscored the Axtell Eagles by a total of 4 points in the second half. But it was just too little, too late for the Blue Jays as Axtell runs away with this and punches their third straight ticket to a state tournament title. Looking at scoring first for the Blue Jays, who in their season 14-7, they were led by Tyson Gates with 25 points. He averaged, again, we talked about it earlier, or a little bit earlier in the broadcast, he averaged just over 8.5 points per game. And for the senior, he comes out with 25 points, but it was the leading scorer on the season and a top 30 scorer in the state of Kansas. Edward Hornick held to just 14 points, well under his season average of 22.5. So Gates leads the way with 25. Hornick pitches in 14. Gabriel Redrick pitches in 10, 3 from Caden Rabe, 2 from Grant Goodacre, and 2 off the bench for, I thought I had it written down, number 4, John Mick. Actually, that's 4 for Mick, in that one. The Blue Jays shot 43% from this contest. That's a stark difference from the first half, where, again, Axtell just jumped out and shut down defensively. The Blue Jays shot 17% in the first half. They turned around and shoot 78% in the third and 67% in the fourth quarters to finish a very respectable 43%. But again, it was just that first half, and we talked about it in the opening. Axtell jumps out on teams on average 17-9 in the first quarter. They were up 20-8 at the end of this first quarter, and again ran away with it. The Blue Jays do go 8 for 12 for the free throw line, 67%, but they do commit 16 turnovers in this contest. Now looking at the Axtell Eagles, a balanced attack as it has been all year. 4 players in double digits led by Logan Sandman, who led the way with 19 points. He was perfect from the floor, 9 for 9 and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Of course, everything right inside for the 6'4" sophomore down low, really set up by the guard play of these Eagles. So 19 for Sandman, 16 for Brandon Schmelsley, 11 for Eli Brocksterman, 17 for Colin Shaughnessy off the bench as always, 11 mentioned it for Eli Brocksterman, 7 for Wyatt Detweiler and Landon Schmitz apiece. Axtell goes 14 for 19 from the free throw line, a team that usually goes 58%, goes 74% in this game, and they shoot an astonishing 29 for 49, 59% from the floor in this contest. I mentioned it earlier, not calling him out by any means, but Eli Brocksterman goes 1 for 10 from behind the three-point line. If he doesn't shoot, 2, 3 of those, Axtell's over 60% from the floor in the game. They came out, they dominated like one of the best teams in Class 1A Division II that they can. And again, the TVL goes 9 for 9 in sending teams to the state tournament. The Valley Heights girls, the Donovan West girls, the Centralia girls, going through the bracket here, Centralia girls, then the Frankfort boys, Clifton Clyde boys, Hanover girls, Lynn girls, Hanover boys, and Axtell boys all make it to state next week. Again, stay tuned to KNDY for updated brackets. Those will probably come out tomorrow, so stay tuned to our KNDY Facebook page as we'll share those online, and also it will be on our, regular broadcast, if you want to call it that, coming up on Monday. We'll have a full look at coverage, as again, KNDY will have live coverage of both Hanover boys and girls teams, the Axtell boys, and the Lynn girls out at Colby starting at state next Wednesday. With girls action on Wednesday, boys action on Thursday, yours truly will have coverage here on FM at 95.5. Again, it's been a great week here from Tuscany, Kansas. Beautiful facilities. A big thank you to all the hospitality down here. But I'm ready to go home, and I'm going to be honest, it's been a long 2 days. But I'm looking forward to even a longer week out at Colby, where I hopefully can see at least 2 state champions come home winners from the TVL. A big thank you to our sponsors here today in our Axtell broadcast: Axtell Hometown Lumber, Western National Bank, Axtell Trust, B&D Building, Axtell Car Wash, Little Joe's Service, Moonlight Restorations, the State Bank of Axtell, Blue Valley Technologies, Landau Company, SBS Insurance, and a big thank you to our Hanover sponsors: Midwest Products, Bruna Implement, Blue Valley Insurance Agencies, Hanover Electric, Hanover Hospital, the Citizen State Bank branches, Sapp Brothers Petroleum, Goog's Bar and Grill, Ricky's Cafe, Andy's Hardware and Lumber, B&W Electric, Freeman Farmers Mutual Insurance, Orville Juniman Construction, and the Main Street Market in Hanover. Again, here today in our first contest, it was the Hanover boys taking out top seed and undefeated Logan Palco, 56-51. And just finishing up here, Axtell boys dominating win over St. John's Tipton, 76-58. Max Blasky signing off here on KNDY FM 95.5. We appreciate all the support this year throughout the season. We hope that you are back with our coverage next week at state. A big thank you as well to Jeff Wirtz of the TVL Sports Spotlight for keeping my scores up and rolling here from Tuscany. In closing out our Saturday night coverage, go Eagles, go Wildcats, and we'll see you out at Colby, Kansas for state action starting next Wednesday here on KNDY.
KNDY.